Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Mr. Palladino, please call the roll.
Sure. Trustee Dattis.
Here.
Trustee Jacko. Trustee Tunis.
Here.
Trustee Velez.
Here.
Trustee Williams.
Here.
Vice President Benamini.
Here.
President Munoz.
Here. Thank you.
The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend meetings of this board, except where specifically exempted by law, at which time any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having same advertised in the Belleville Times. Also, notice of this meeting has been mailed to the members of the Board of Education, the Borough Clerk, all elementary schools, the middle school, the high school, Hornblower Early Childhood Center, and posted on the district website. Also, this meeting is being televised via the district's YouTube and Facebook pages.
Thank you, Mr. Palladino. We want to approve the minutes for our June 20th June 20th meeting.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We're going to move on to we do not currently have a student government representation, so we're going to move on to items presented by the administration. Dr. Tomko.
Mr. President, thank you so much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, people at home watching, our community members. It's been an incredible summer so far. We've done a tremendous amount of work as a Board of Education, getting ready for the opening of the school year. I would like to first commend all of the administrators, several who are here tonight, for all their hard work. Our teachers as well who've been assisting us, our interns who have been doing an incredible job with some new initiatives we're having. So again, I just wanted to let you know there's a lot of productivity over the summer. It's not a time off for us, although it's a time to relax a little bit with family. It's really our time to go into overdrive for your kids, and I think that's the dedication that our entire district staff and this Board of Education has in mind when we do things. And someone just mentioned it before, and I'll steal her thunder, but you know, at the end of the day, if it's not good for the kids, it's not good. It's something that we're not doing good enough. So we've been working very hard, which brings me to a few things. Power School implementation is a new student information system that the board has improved several months ago. Our teachers and staff and administration have just been doing an incredible job of trying to roll that out to make sure that it is ready for everyone with regard to different ways of communicating with the central administration and parents, also our lesson planning, our grade input. We're going to have a grade book now that is in real time, which will basically then be exported to parents so we can keep up with communication there as well. Just a lot of great stuff happening. Change is tough for some people, even on our administrative team. We all do a great job, but it's hard for some of us that have been kind of ingrained in doing the same thing over and over to look at something with a fresh set of eyes, but we're all doing the best we can to bring this to you. And I know this program now, which a few years ago wasn't exemplar, but Power School now will be the way to go for the future of this community and definitely this school district. I would also like to talk about the K-5 health and phys ed curriculum. We are progressing there. I see Mr. Coban in the audience here tonight. Been working very hard on this. I appreciate you for that, sir, knowing that it's a hot topic around the state. Also, Ms. Shanklin, who is in and out of district right now, but she's been working very hard on this as well, along with our board curriculum committee and then the full board, who I have to say is probably one of the most involved curriculum committees I've ever had in my 25 years of administration. So I do appreciate the dialogue back and forth. I think it does show that We continue to be a board committed to putting in hours and hours of volunteer time to make sure that the representation of this community is served. And you see that tonight when you'll hear a little bit about, or you'll see a resolution on here tonight about the full K-12 health and phys ed curriculum that is going in tonight. Part of it's going in tonight, part of it will be going in next meeting. But just a little update on that. Like we promised, the first week, maybe the end of the first week or so in August, we will have a link that's going to allow parents to see what we've accomplished so far with regard to rolling out this K-5 health phys ed curriculum, comprehensive curriculum. I know that the team is making it very user-friendly, giving some examples to tell you how our teachers are going to be laying out some of their lesson plans. Our teachers are writing lesson plans for it. And I know our board committee is going to be working with us closely on it. So as promised, that'll be coming out in the next few weeks, with then a period of a week or two of getting feedback from anyone in the community. And then, of course, at the August 15th board meeting would be where we'd hope to approve that, and would be the public comment on that. But again, we do have some parents that have been giving me some information here and there with regard to things that are occurring in other districts. So continue to send that, please, to my email, superintendent@bellevilleschools.org. I read everything that comes across my desk, so we do appreciate that. The only other thing I wanted to talk about really is the indoor training facility that the board has graciously taken my recommendation to construct this for this township. We are hoping to cut the ribbon on that in a few weeks. So stay tuned. It's just, I don't know, it's turned out to be more of a phenomenal thing than I could ever have imagined when we first looked at it. So it's going to be an excellent addition to the extracurricular component of our district and our entire community, because again, we're all working as one for our kids and the future leaders of tomorrow. So the progress is very genuine here, and appreciate the board and all of its support. So thank you very much. Moving on to Mr. Mara is here as well. I really don't know if he's going to get up and say anything. He doesn't have to, but we are honored that we were cited for a national award for excellence of exemplary display of sportsmanship, ethics, and integrity. Something that I know you strive for. Since you're coming to district, this athletics and program in health and phys ed, you being as an assistant principal has just skyrocketed exponentially, and we really appreciate all you do here. I know sometimes you go unnoticed, so this award, although it does have to do with our students and our coaches, obviously it comes from the top, you and then Mr. Rhodes as well. So I want to recognize you. Thank you very much for your time and your dedication. I don't know if you ever go home, but thank you very much. We really appreciate you. So. And maybe we could post that or display it, the award. I know you have it, so maybe the board can see it later. So, but we could post it outside. So thank you very much. We appreciate it. And that's really it. Progress. I hope everyone's enjoying the summer. Again, we're working very hard, and we'll see you soon. We have a community barbecue on August 24th. That's for everyone in the community. We're celebrating everything that we've gone through here as a team. It doesn't matter if you have children here or not. It's for the entire community. We're going to get together. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have some barbecue. We're just going to have a good time. So that's on the 24th. So please spread the word, mark your calendars, and come celebrate the teachers. Come celebrate our kids. Come celebrate Belleville. So we would really appreciate that. And then that's really it. So progress. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tomko. So we're going to move on to remarks by citizens. Can I have a motion to open remarks by citizens, please?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. The Board of Education will call the individuals who wish to speak in the order as they appear in the sign-in roster. The individuals called to be heard shall proceed with his or her comments as briefly as the subject permits with a maximum of 3 minutes at the podium. All inquiries must be directed to the President of the Board of Education. Mr. Michael Sheldon.
I'll try to conduct myself quickly, considering the large number of people who are waiting to speak tonight. Firstly, agenda item 7.39. I'm sure you knew I was going to ask a question about this. This is the appointment of Christine Lamparello to the position of Adaptive Skills Vocational Facilitator. I'd like to know a little bit more about why she in particular is being hired for this position. It does smack of cronyism, nepotism, much like what happened last June when one of the Team Ellum players, a job was created in the business office, and he was hired the same month. I'm talking about Renato Peralta. But out of curiosity, I went to Apple-Track Frontline to see how this job had been posted. It was first advertised on June 28th. And less than 18 days later, you're already making the hiring decision. The closing date, by the way, on Apple-Track is August 31st. So you've not even allowed the full expanse of posted time to run its course. You've already made a decision, which seems to be prematurely. It seems as though the fix was in to have this particular person hired for this job, considering her role in facilitating board agendas over the last 6 years. The next item I want to quickly mention here tonight, agenda item 9.7, this board as an addendum this afternoon is going to vote on a resolution basically disapproving the K through 2 health, comprehensive health and physical education curriculum, which has stirred a lot of controversy. It's my understanding under state law that trustees don't decide the curriculum. Your power is in how to implement the curriculum. And as I have previously said, I'm cautioning you to be very mindful of your ethical charges. The very first thing you agree to upon becoming a trustee is that you will faithfully execute all of the rules promulgated by the State Department of Education. It seems to me what you're doing tonight is flaunting, you're giving a thumb in the face of the Department of Education, which could lead to dire consequences, not only ethical charges, but potentially, in the most severe case, the state could decide to withhold its state funding from the district. When you consider the regular aid and the preschool aid, that's over $50 million. I would appreciate it if you have the courage, if this board has the courage, to poll this item separately tonight so that there's a recorded vote on how each of you feel about disapproving the K through 2 health curriculum. Not only to show your courage before this community, but should any legal consequences follow in the near future from the Department of Education, it'll give hopefully at least a couple of you some cover. How much more time do I have? Probably seconds. 10 seconds? Zero, thank you. All right, well, I guess I timed it correctly tonight. Again, as I pointed out, the 3-minute rule is only supposed to be implemented when the chair of the board realizes there'll be more than 45 minutes of public speaking. But I guess those rules just don't matter.
If I could just clarify through the chair. Obviously we don't talk about personnel issues. That's for 1,000 years. But I think it's important because you mentioned a few names, and obviously when you're in a township where people are involved, and I think I made this conversation, I've made this comment several times. I don't know. I get the most qualified people for the positions that we post. I don't know. I think we're doing a pretty good job. I mean, in all those areas. So, and I also don't have a problem at all holding people accountable, and I think I've proven that here as well. So I'll just say that. But as for the postings are only really legally obligated for unions, for union labor. There's no legal obligation to post. But if I remember correctly, I'm trying to think. I don't have my notes with me, but I'm almost positive that the original posting was somewhere a couple days for my birthday. That's how I remembered it, because the postings were done, I think, 7/7. We still are posting for that position because we may hire an additional individual. We may hire 3 instead of 2. And the individual that you mentioned, there's 2 individuals tonight on the agenda, but you didn't mention the other one, so I guess that one's okay, which kind of makes it a little odd. But at the same time, just to clarify, we have a vetting process that we followed since I've been here. It's the same vetting process, same qualification process. I would never put someone who's not qualified in a position. So, thank you.
Can I please have a motion to close public commenting?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, thank you very much. We're going to be moving on to personnel. Motion. Can I have a motion on 7-1 to 766, please?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Mr. Palladino, please call the roll.
Trustee Dattis.
Yes.
Trustee Tunis.
Yes.
Trustee Velez.
Yes.
Trustee Williams.
Yes.
Vice President Benemini.
Yes.
President Munoz.
Yes, thank you very much. We're going to move on to, excuse me. All right, we're going to move on to curriculum and instruction. Motion, can I have a motion on 8-1?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr. Palladino, please call the roll.
Trustee Dattis.
Yes.
Trustee Tunis.
Yes.
Trustee Velez.
Yes.
Trustee Williams.
Yes.
Vice President Benemini.
Yes.
President Munoz.
Yes, thank you. I would like to have a motion on board action and board policy, motion on 9-1 to 9-7. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any,
Do we have discussion? Oh, yeah, sorry.
excuse me?
Mr. President, may I speak?
Yeah, any discussions?
Yes, thank you.
Go ahead.
So I think that people who are looking tonight will see 9.7 and wonder why the board is putting this resolution up, and I think it's a great question. I do just want to make it clear that, in my opinion, I think this resolution tries and really succeeds at trying to represent the entire community on these standards because, of course, as Mr. Sheldon mentioned in his comments, the board does have to follow state mandates. The board is also a representation of the community at large. And in our community, we are extremely diverse, racially, ethnically, religiously. And I think because of that, we do have to let it be known that every member of this community, regardless of your walk of life, does have a say on this board. So I think this resolution that stresses inclusive and medically accurate information is something that is truly representative of this community because we do want inclusive material while bringing in all stakeholder groups, you know, parents, families, you know, our staff, everyone. And I think that's what's so important, and I think that's what's so great about this resolution, because it stresses and reiterates that this is a community and this is a democracy, and everyone has a say in this. So I appreciate all the concerns, because we did hear a lot of concerns earlier. We had a forum. We've had emails. We've had discussions on the streets and in the stores. And it's been clear. A lot of members of our community are concerned. And to those people, we can't just block them out and say, you don't matter. We have to say to them, you do have a right to speak, and you know what? You're a member of this community too, and your right and your voice needs to be heard, and so does everyone else's. So by making it clear that we want to be both inclusive and collaborative, I think that's what's important. I think that's what this resolution does, and I appreciate the hard work of every trustee in looking at this resolution. So that's all I have to say on this. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
Nope.
Mr. Palladino, please call the roll.
Trustee Dattis. Excuse me.
Yes.
Trustee Tunis.
Yes.
Trustee Velez.
Yes.
Trustee Williams.
Yes.
Vice President Benamini.
Yes.
President Munoz.
Yes, thank you. Moving on to purchasing and business services. Can I have a motion on 10-1 and 10-42?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Palladino, please call the roll.
Trustee Dattis.
Yes.
Trustee Tunis.
Yes.
Trustee Velez.
Yes.
Trustee Williams.
Yes.
Vice President Benamini.
Yes.
President Munoz.
Yes. We're moving on to finance. Can I have a motion on 11-1 to 11-6, please?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion? Mr. Palladino, please call the roll.
Trustee Dattis.
Yes.
Trustee Tunis.
Yes.
Trustee Velez.
Yes.
Trustee Williams.
Yes.
Vice President Benamini.
Yes.
President Munoz.
Yes, thank you very much. We're going to go ahead and move on to remarks by citizen. Can I have a motion to open conversation, remarks by citizens, please?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're moving on to, all right, the board president will call the individuals who wish to speak in the order as it appears in the sign-in roster. The individual called to be heard shall proceed with his or her comments as briefly as the subject permits, with a maximum of 5 minutes at the podium. All inquiries must be directed at the board president of the Board of Education. Mr. Sheldon?
Good evening again. Dr. Tomko, yes, it is correct that there was another hire on this agenda, 7-38, for a second adaptive skills facilitator. But there's obviously a huge difference. That person was not a trustee, nor was she board president, nor did she sign off on your new contract last June, which makes you one of the 15 highest paid superintendents in New Jersey. So I think there's a fundamental ethics difference here in trying to equate that there are two vocational facilitators on the agenda, but let that be as it may. As far as 9.7 is concerned, the resolution where the board is expressing its dissatisfaction, disapproval with the K through 2 health curriculum, I have to assume that board counsel confirmed with everyone that there would be no legal consequences in your action tonight. Let's hope that that is indeed the case. 8.1, the new curriculum that you just approved. I tried to alert Mr. Palladino this afternoon that the embedded link in that agenda item is on a protected Google Drive. You're giving the link, but a layperson, a member of the community, cannot access those documents. So please do whatever you can as quickly as possible to make that link publicly accessible. The next item that I want to mention to you, item 10.3, you approved the board's attendance of the annual school board convention in Atlantic City this October. Can you give us some anticipated cost? There's nothing there quantifying how much this, I've always considered when I was on the board largely a junket, but I'd like to have some ballpark number of what you expect this to cost taxpayers. 10.40, there is an addendum here to amend a resolution 10.13 from March. This is a $500,000 payment that you have promised to give to the town hall as your share of the newest municipal field renovation for lighting. The problem here is that during the June 28th council public hearing on the budget, as I discussed, and it's on video, what they have penciled in on that particular line item is not $500,000. They have $600,000 coming from you. So there's a discrepancy here of $100,000. So, could you please tell me, is the agreement $500,000 or is it $600,000? Because if it's $600,000 and you're only giving them $500,000, I want to avoid the situation where Mr. Mellon, Mr. Martino, and Mr. Iacono gather around Dr. Tomko's desk and say, where's our other $100,000? And then add something to the effect that It's a nice school you have here. It'd be a shame if something happens to it. So please, you guys have a fundamental discrepancy here of $100,000 as to what your share of the municipal stadium project is. Lastly, I have a couple of questions about two bills list items, 085413 H2M Architects and Engineers. This is presumably not construction, this is just architectural and engineering payments for $193,000. Could you just elaborate, Mr. Palladino, if you can, on exactly what is involved there? The other bills list item is C93138 to MRA International for Chromebooks/technology for nearly $1 million, $984,000. Now, if that's just for Chromebooks, right off the shelf, most Chromebooks sell for less than $300 these days. You could purchase nearly 3,500 Chromebooks for that amount of money. So I'd like to have a little clarification as to what that $984,000 payment involves. Oh, and lastly, I just wanted to confirm, with the state loan, the $4.2 million state loan that we were given in 2015, after this calendar year, are there just 3 payments left, which would amount to about $1.2 million? And also the ECIA loan, which we agreed to in 2019, which made possible the Claremont Field project, that was for $3.6 million, which was going to be paid back over a 5-year period. According to Mr. Egan, it would be paid out of certain economies, would not cost taxpayers a single extra penny. Is it correct to say that after this calendar year, there are only 2 payments, 2 $700,000 payments left for the ECIA loan? So that's it for tonight, unless I have some more time, and maybe I'll entertain you with this song and dance. But how much time do I have left?
19 seconds.
19 seconds. All right, I'll call it a night.
Thank you, Mr. Sheldon. Can I have a motion to close public participation?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Dr. Zonko? No? Okay. Mr. Palladino?
Okay, so in regards to H2M, they are the architects for the district-wide air conditioning project. They were approved on an agenda, off the top of my head, I don't remember when, but they were board approved. And MRA, if you look back on the agendas, we received E-rate ECF money, which is money from the federal government for every student that needs a Chromebook. So with the surveys that Mr. Parapato and his team and I were able to work on, we were able to get every single student a Chromebook for free from the federal government. So that's that payment that comes to us from the federal government and then goes directly to MRA.
Thank you, Mr. Palladino. All right, I'd like to move on to items and remarks by trustees. Mr. Velez?
Thank you, Mr. President. For the Operations Committee, my report is that work and planning is going further and is in really a really good place when it comes to the middle school project. I can't go into too much detail, but what I can say is that within that meeting and the conversations from that meeting, the middle school project is certainly going to be as transformative as this board has been saying over the last few months. I'm looking forward to so much of what was discussed, both in the meeting and in closed session, that I really think the community will appreciate once it all takes form. In regards to the Finance Committee, I did sit in, so I don't know if we want anyone else who was there to give the report, or for me to give the report. Would you like to give the Finance Committee report? Or, Oh, was okay. All right, because I did sit on that, but I just want to make sure I give everybody time. Further, I just want to speak about the great things that are happening. We talked about the middle school expansion. I wanted to say that it's a great thing. We were just talking about air conditioning. I think this is great that we're really moving forward all of these operation projects and really trying to up the game in terms of the physical aspect of our schools. I know many years ago when I was in elementary school, certainly it was really, really hot in the summer months. We had to sit on the floor sometimes because it was so hot and the ventilation was so bad. But I'm very glad that for the next generation, we're really moving it forward. And I just wanted to close with this whole mindset that I personally have of inclusion and conversation. I think that more conversation and ensuring that everyone in our community is involved in every aspect that we can have them be involved is so important because, again, this is a community representation, and this is a board of the community, by the community, and for the community. So I think it's extremely important that we continue to call on participation and truly try our best to always represent the views of all the community and really work to be inclusive and forward-minding. So thank you all so much and have a great night.
Thank you. Mr. Tunis?
Good evening. I'm sure most of you are watching from home due to the weather. In my committee report, the policy governance report, we're still reviewing the bus transportation policy. In terms of the finance committee report, we reviewed in May the financials, looked over the preliminary bills list. I hope everyone is enjoying their summer, and that's really it. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Tunis. Trustee Dattis?
Good evening, everyone. I want to talk a little bit about, curriculum. I read through the entire high school curriculum. It was a lot of reading. It was hours. It was thousands. It was thousands and thousands of pages of curriculum. But I do want to say, as far as the resolution, we did have a forum. The community came out. Everyone who came out is going to support this resolution. And as far as, I just want to read real quick one thing that it says. The Board of Education has major reservations regarding some of the content, not all of it. I just wanted to make that very clear for anybody who's wondering. So as far as the resolution, I'm happy, and as far as the community speaking out, we hear you, and I feel like we made the right decision for the diversity of our community. I hope everyone's having a great summer, and we'll see you next month. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dattis. Trustee Williams?
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start by saying what an awesome time I had participating in this year's Color Run. There were so many community members and students that attended, and everyone had such a great time. And it was an amazing way to show our Belleville pride. Next, congratulations to Mr. Mara and Belleville High School on receiving the Award of Excellence for exemplary display of sportsmanship, ethics, and integrity. 3 characteristics that are much needed in today's society. Lastly, regarding our curriculum, I'd like to stress the importance of equity and inclusiveness. It is important that every individual, regardless of race, color, creed, religion, or political background, feel that they have a voice and you do in fact matter. Thank you to our school district and staff who do an excellent job of always making sure that every student is seen and heard. Thank you to everyone for your continued support, and have a great evening.
Thank you, Trustee Williams. Vice President Benamini?
Yep, thank you, Mr. President. Hi, everyone. I just want to sum up the committees for those of you who don't know. The committees do meet. They do have a very important job. Everyone is on different committees, and they really do research the information that's presented to them, whether they're on the curriculum committee, the personnel committee, finance committee. I think even the former board members sitting in the audience know that it's no easy task. Our job is never done because we're always working overtime, reading the information and making sure we cover all our bases. None of us have the same opinions up here. We're all our own individuals. I think that's what makes us a great board. But we do manage to make sure that we cover everything. And yes, we make sure that Jonathan Bush, our legal counsel, makes sure that everything that we're doing is being done the correct way. So I do want to thank him too for always working and ensuring that what we're doing is the right thing. So with that said, I want to thank everybody because we've had some really tough discussions and we've managed to pull through with some very good decisions and good product. And, we're working here all summer. And I think that our community, our parents, our staff, everyone's going to be very pleased with a lot of things that they're going to see coming up. I want to thank all the staff. I know some of them are working through the summer. We appreciate you. We know you're here. Thank you for keeping our district running. Thank you for our members of the community for coming out and supporting us even in the summer and asking questions. Appreciate that. And for the staff that are here tonight that have come out during their summer break to see us and listen to the good things that are going on. So with that said, summer is going fast. We'll see you for the next meeting in August. Have a good night.
Thank you, Vice President Meany. I guess on my end, I don't really often have much to say. I will emphasize your statement that our board attorney, Mr. Bush, always is extremely involved with our process as we do everything, and as we sit in committees. I mean, I think between Mr. Palladino, Dr. Tomko, and Mr. Bush here, we speak almost every day of the week. It's even on the weekends. We're extremely involved board. We emphasize a lot of points that the community brings to our attentions, both here while we're in public session, but we also do get it when we're out and about in the community. We get it out in social media. I think everyone sitting up here is very approachable and is communicative within the community. So I do commend every single one of you on that, because I know that we have many heated conversations and debates, and the passion that everybody's putting forward, it shows. I really wish you guys could see some of our private session meetings. They go on for a while now, but I just wanted to make a point to Mr. Sheldon's statement earlier. Number one, thank Mr. Sheldon, because he's extremely involved in our meetings, and to his point, you sat in these positions as well, so you know that Mr. Bush advises us in every decision that we make. So to that statement, we know that we're allowed to, although our position is to enforce guidelines set by the state. Every board member is allowed to have their opinions, approvals or disapprovals, whichever way they go with it. But everyone is able to speak their mind on certain things, but we do understand our responsibility and our oath to uphold what the standards that are set by our state, and we intend to do so. Mr. Mara, I can't say no good things about you, man. You do a great job, and thank you. That's a great example you're setting for our kids, and we appreciate it. I appreciate it. Moving forward from that, I think we're good to go for today. Thank you very much for everyone who's here, and have a great summer, and we'll see you next month. Can I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Motion.
Second.
Any opposed? All right.